what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And guess what? It's Baby Friday. And guess who? Let's take a look and see who is going to be our starting five today. Our starting five is the people we just affectionately call the starting five because they are the first 5 people that sign up to either the YouTube page or the Facebook page. And let me take a look. Okay. Oh, YouTube. Wow, they got you again. Derek Johnson, Sonia Billingsley, Rod Wells, Todd Holmes, Tyandra Holmes. Wow, them Holmes getting it in. And my 6th person of the day is Tiffany Saunders. But guess what? Right behind Tiffany, I got Kim Jackson in the YouTube side. So Kim representing over there. Then we got it. I see everybody. I'm going through the list and yeah, I'm checking. Hey, Mindy. What's up, Daryl Anderson? I know you've been traveling all over the world. Hey, but y'all, but the other day, I know it's Baby Friday, and there's a lot of stuff I want to talk to about, but I want to finish talking about, y'all, the other day, I was talking about black businesses and how a lot of them are, talk to them all over the country, not just in Houston, all over the country. I'm blessed to know people in almost every city. And they was just talking about, how I gave you, I just want to leave you a thought on the black business when it comes to supporting them. I'll go back to the Federal Reserve story I told. The Federal Reserve, they said 41% of the black-owned businesses across the country that permanently shut down their doors since this pandemic. Okay, so understand that. Some of us are unfortunate; our businesses didn't get shut down, but a lot of them have. And but this is the easy fix. Somebody came on and said, "What's the solution?" This is an easy fix. And I know they gonna y'all tell them later. I tell them to go back and listen to it. And we need mentally now 2 things we can control. We need a solid conviction that is important for us to do this first, to invest in ourselves. Okay, solid conviction. Okay. Y'all with me? Solid conviction. You got to say, hey, man, this what I'm going to do. Okay? Then, number 2, you need to exercise an unbreakable, concrete discipline. You got the conviction, now you got to have the discipline to do it. And all discipline means is, hey, I'm not just going with the brand I know. I'm going to experiment a little bit. I'm going to do a little research on the new brands. If you missed this, I'm talking about supporting black businesses during this pandemic and how 41% of them has closed their doors and will never open again. So let's not make that 41% rise any higher. Okay? So remember what I said. Number 1, solid conviction. Number 2, have an unbreakable, concrete discipline. And that means, hey, and hold up. I'm telling you, do your research. Hold up now. Help me out. Do your research. Do your homework. I'm not saying that you should go with something substandard, with some substandard quality. No, I am not saying that. But make an earnest effort to think of these people who are out here struggling. Imagine, like I said the other day, imagine they are your brothers and sisters. In many respects, they are. And you are trying to promote your brother and sister's business. That will help you with the conviction and it'll help you with the discipline. I just wanted to share that with y'all, man, because somebody kept texting me and said, Robert, why didn't you finish up? Why did you finish up on Black? And we got to be conscious of each other. Notice how if y'all know if somebody got a business on this show, you know I'm going to promote it. I got something for y'all right now. I got something for y'all right now. Hold up. It's an announcement. Hold on. See, I'm just show you. And he ain't paid me to do this. But I want y'all to know, I'm going to put this on the screen. And I want y'all to know this. And I know for a fact this is going to help my people. So this is why I do stuff like this. Okay, I think I got it. We got this new tryouts for these boys basketball. I think it's for boys basketball. Above all sports tryouts, right? And let me read some of the stuff. Brian Jolivet just sent me and just said, Robert, would you share this? Would you share this? And he gave me something. He was just telling me about, okay, you can mention. He said, Robert, let me tell you something. I am buying new uniforms. I'm reading this Brian Jolivet. I'm buying new uniforms for all the teams. And let me say, in 11 above. Okay. And these same teams gonna be able to get in 11 events for free. Parents, you join this team. I don't know the cost of joining the team. You got to make the trials first. But if you're on the team, you get free uniforms. So parents, you ain't got to divvy up for the free uniforms. Check this out. 3 uniforms, and you get 11 of his events free. 11 events? That's damn near whole summer. And then I want you to mention in the trial this weekend, this Saturday, that's why I'm mentioning it. In the trials this weekend, check this out. Please mention that they are hiring Rick Nelson's a team to sterilize the facility and check the temperatures upon entering of the facilities. Tell everyone that they will have all the instructions on www.aboveallsports.com. Also mention we are not charging the kids for tryouts. Hey, y'all. That's how we supposed to do it, man. That's how we supposed to do it. Did anybody see Alan Stevens last night on TV? Tell me who watched her last night. Hey, y'all, I got something for y'all today, but I'm going to wait till some more people get in. John Newsom, everybody who really knows me, they know not to call me an hour before the show because I don't answer the phone. So I'll tell y'all later. I'm going to just tell y'all some people called me before the show, and they called me about 5 times, and I thought something was wrong. But they came and gave me something. They wanted, it was gentlemen all over the country, former NBA players. They had me in an argument of theirs, and I'm going to let y'all join in on the that's right, Tay, that is Jahara's god sister. You're right. Troy Prady is in the building. Troy, I wanted you to come on the show today. Hey, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Anytime you have any legal problem, especially to get in an accident, personal injury, Troy Prady of the Cox Prady Law Firm. If y'all look up on the screen, bigcityaccidents.com. That's that up on the screen, the upper left, up over my head. Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah. Yes, proud supporter of the Chop Shop. And it's just somebody trying to call me during this show. They really don't know me. But they really don't know. But it was a unique thing, man. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it as to we're going to let Jimmy get in because it's an NBA topic. And I know y'all going to have a whole lot of stuff. But I know, let's go. Let me see what I want to talk about first. First of all, I want to talk about this. James Harden has added 2 more teams to his list of trade possibilities. Trade possibilities. Okay. And he added who would he added? The Bucks and the Heat. And I want to share some with y'all, man. Just want to share some with y'all before Jimmy come on, man. It's this trade with James Harden. This is a massive movement for Houston, man. And y'all know I got an affinity for James, and I'm gonna catch up with the questions a little later. Although I'm trying to focus on what I'm trying to give y'all something. You may go another 20 years before you get another player like James Harden. Okay, the Pelicans got lucky. You know, Anthony Davis left, they got Zion. That's really that's a outlier. I remember, y'all, just reading my history books. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar walked out of the door of the Milwaukee Bucks in 1974, I think. And it's been 46 years since the Bucks haven't made it back to the finals. Okay? I'm just helping you now. You sent away a guy like James Harden, and yeah, he's gone, but I'm just saying, it may be a long time for us to find another guy like that. This is a gigantic movement for this franchise. I know y'all can kid about it and play around, but I'm giving you historical context so y'all can understand history. I know y'all just, are prisoners of the moment, but I'm finna give you some historical context here. You're asking somebody who has never executed a trade before to do this. Raphael Stone never executed a trade. Oh, well, yes, he did. The trade between, Russell Westbrook, John Wall. You're asking him to do it under duress, and you're asking him to do it publicly. It's hard, man. I'm telling y'all, just being in this business, this is hard. And I'm just trying to explain to you fans. I don't care about what you say. Me 30 years in this business. I'm talking about the business part of it. Okay? Houston has been a hub for the NBA. What I mean by hub? Playing on Christmas Day. People making it great stops. Everybody want to come here. Everybody. Since Harden been around. Yes, we had it a little bit with Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming, but Harden, last 8 years, Houston has been a hub. Don't like him. You don't have to like him. I'm just giving you facts. What I want y'all to do, for historical context, ask the Phoenix Suns how fleeting this moment can be. Ask the Phoenix Suns. Go back. Phoenix Suns was on top of the world. Ask the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ask them. Go back. When they lost Garnett, right? Now they ain't had no life since then. How has life been since Garnett is gone? Just trying to help you. Just trying to help you. Hey, Rick, I'm not talking to brilliant people like you. All your comments is unnecessary. I'm not talking to brilliant people like you. I'm talking to the people who are fans, not the people who you too brilliant for this. So everybody else, y'all can listen. Rick just gonna type. They haven't had Garnett since 2008. They have missed the playoff 15 or 16 years. Where do they get another Garnett from? Hold up. They got a Wiggins. They got a Karl Anthony Towns. They got all of that. But tell y'all something. 80% of the league, 80% of the guys in the league will never be like this guy that the Rockets are. And let me tell you something. Yes, it's hard to get rid of because the Rockets, and what I'm finding out, y'all, and I'm finding out little things and little bit of tidbits. James Harden, man, that was his own. I was trying to tell y'all the other day. Yes, no. I ain't telling y'all. Let me tell you something. It's out of y'all hands. I'm just trying to give y'all, if y'all listen, I'm trying to give y'all historical context. I'm not telling y'all, he ain't nothing, Sonya, Rick, Martin Vaughn, ain't nothing neither one of y'all can do to keep him here. Okay? But I'm just trying to give you historical context. Yes. But the reason he's playing hardball, I feel, because he don't feel Houston is doing enough to get this thing and make it happen. Y'all talking about he unprofessional. He's showing up with a little baby, But professionally, he went by, talked to the coach before y'all even knew about it. Y'all didn't even have the owner. And asked the owner, man, please give me a chance to go get me a championship. I will come back later after my deal is up and come back and play for the Houston Rockets. Owner said no. So guess what? I've been hearing, they even asked, let me tell you something. And if I was the Rockets, and I'm trying to help y'all out, if I was the Rockets, I would, because it's going to happen. But see, I think the Rockets, and it's smart now, the Rockets trying to get them, whoever take on James, got to take Eric Gordon with them. Or this John Wall deal with them. And it ain't going to happen now. I mean, the season go on and everything. It's not going to happen before. I don't think it's going to happen before the season. But I know there's not 5 people on this planet that can play ball, 5 other people on this planet that can play ball the way James Harden does. And the Rockets owner came on TV just yesterday. Yeah. Well, you don't have to, just mute it. You don't need no help. Just mute it then. But the Rockets, he know who I'm talking about. But the Rockets owner said on TV yesterday that they have done nothing but get better this year. That's what the Rockets owner came on TV and said. I always remember, man, it was some times in history that the players couldn't leave. I told you, do me a favor and go get the Spencer Haywood's book. Okay? Go get Spencer Haywood's new book. Players were locked in, man, down there for life. The owners can do whatever they want. They had their rights. Can do whatever they want with them. So players are within their boundaries to want to leave. That stuff that he just said, talking about they gotten better, it's not the truth. He did a good interview the rest of the way, but that part right there, I didn't like. Think about it, y'all. To trade Russell Westbrook, an all-NBA player, who you gave up 21st round picks for. The year after that trade, you trade him for John Wall, who haven't played in 2 years. And only thing get back is one protected pick. And that means the other team can veto it if they want to protect it. It's lottery protected. So it won't be a lottery pick. That's not an upgrade. It's not an upgrade if Boogie stays healthy. He ain't played in 2 years. I mean, it's just, man, I just, all I'm telling you, and I thought about, somebody mentioned this. I thought about the Wiseman. They was talking about it yesterday, about Golden State. What if James go, what's up, Elliot Johnson? What if James go to Golden State? Okay? Trade James, high value players. Get James Wiseman. Send the Rockets. Would y'all want James Wiseman and some picks? But I was thinking about this, y'all. Jimmy Butler go cuss everybody out in practice. cussed the owner, the coach, and everybody out in practice. Said, get me the hell out of here. James not a confrontational guy. He just show up and go hang out with little baby and and whoever. You know, I guess you rather he come in and cuss everybody out. Jimmy Butler's a dog. Jimmy Butler's a dog. He professionally asked to be traded weeks ago. Professional. He didn't believe the Rockets. He don't believe the Rockets is in good faith trying to trade him. And that's all. I just wanted to share that to the people who, don't know. Some of us on this feed just know it all. But to the people who don't know, sometimes you always got to give another perspective about this thing, man. And I looked, and I think I might take a break in a second. I'm going to take a break in a second, but I'm going to show you how different a year make. Y'all remember last year, Myles Garrett, the guy who took off his helmet and hit the quarterback for Pittsburgh upside the head, and everybody ostracized him. He had to go to New York. Y'all. Thank you, Lawrence Scott. Thank you, Lawrence. Lawrence, my job. See, Lawrence. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. I'm not a fan, Lawrence. I have certain players or certain coaches that I have a relationship, and I want their teams to win. I'm not a fan. You ain't gonna never see. I didn't cheer for my own son. I told y'all the story. I sat in the same spot for 4 years at Cornell University. The same spot at the same time every single year. The day of his senior, they have senior day. When the parents get to come out, I got a chance to come out on the floor. You know how they shake the parents' hand, take pictures, all that, right? I went back to my seat. Everybody in that section said, wow, I didn't know that Roberts was your son. You never cheer. You just sit there and watch the game. Let me tell y'all something. That's just the way I'm built. So if I ain't cheering for my son, it's hard, y'all, for me to just go out and be hero. Now, if I see a good play, I'm going to recognize it. But 4 years, I sit in them stands and people did not know who I was there for. So I'm just trying. So thank you, Lawrence Scott. I just wanted y'all to understand. It was a time that players did not have this option. They own their rights. I told you in Spencer Haywood's book, they signed this man to a contract so terrible that for him to get the rest of his money at 55 to 70 years old, he have to come back and work for the Trump trucking company that the team owned for him to get the rest of that money. Y'all go read books sometime. Go read. Go read. That's all I'm saying. No. And that's what I keep trying to tell y'all. Ain't nobody telling y'all about keeping James Harden. I said it in the beginning. I can't wait till you go. I just don't think he's appreciated in Houston. And I like offensive players. Of course. I like people who since, and I think, let me see. Trying to say how many years ago. In the last 8 years, might be a little bit more, have averaged 25 plus every year. And in the last 3 years, he averaged 30, 36, 34, around in that area. I like offensive players, man. I'm sorry. Y'all can love the defensive players all you want. I like people that can offensively put the ball in the hole because I know how hard it is. Shit, I tried. I couldn't put it in a hole like that. But back to Myles Garrett, the guy who I was telling you about, who hit the quarterback on the head with the helmet, and everybody ostracized him. Okay? Guess what? He has been named the team's 2020 Walter Payton Man of the Year, recognizing the NFL's best player for their performance on the field and their dedication to the community. Wow. This just a year ago, y'all. Just a year ago. This was how. See how crazy this NBA is. Otha Brown, the Clippers just gave Paul Pierce an extension. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. That's how it is. But Chop, we'll be back in a minute, man. I'm going to take a quick break. Oh, I didn't know it went that long. Take a quick break. We're going to come back in a minute. Got something for you.
Because these guys thought, here's the deal, Michael, and you follow it. These guys think you go from high school to college, it's easy. They watch it on TV, go, yeah, I can do that. That jump from high school to college is really hard. Learning how to compete, learning how to play with other good players, understanding that now these scouting reports are sophisticated, they're taking away what you do well. It's a lot more physical. You take a play off, you get exposed. You take a bad shot, and it's a transition play the other day.
Right. These
other guys you're playing against, they're preparing for the game. They're on scholarship also. They have expectations also. So because these guys.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hanna. And as a click of the button, I'm going to add Jim Hicks to the building, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world. Jimmy, while you was out, Jimmy, I want to share with you about Myles Garrett, Jimmy. You remember he was ostracized last year, and now he's the candidate for the team candidate for NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year. Boy, what a difference a year make, man. Do you call that redemption, Jimmy? What do you call stuff like that? You know, 1 year to Paul. Hold on, Jimmy. Let me give you a number, Jimmy. Paul George hit the side of the backboard in the bubble because he ready to go home. And Steve Ballmer went and gave him an extension, Jimmy. Jimmy, only in America, man. Jimmy, one day you play out Pandemic P, and guess what? Now you part of the gross national product, the GNP. Wow, Unbelievable, man. But what's going on, man? What's happening today?
Hey, of course, the Paul George thing. Okay. Man, I'm quite sure you guys talked about that. I mean, guaranteed
no, we ain't said nothing.
226 million guaranteed, as much as over the next 5 years. You do the math. Do the math.
Jimmy, you quit on me. Jimmy, you can get a coach fired and get 200 million.
Look, he guaranteed as much as, I say it again, as much as 226 mil over the next 5 years. Guys, if you do the math yourself, I'm gonna get out the way.
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, I'm gonna let y'all talk about it.
As much as, that's what, 50 million a year for him? For him?
Coach. Jim.
Say,
Jim.
Hey.
Jimmy, hold up, Jimmy. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go there, Robert. I just smacked myself. I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, playoff P. Steve Ballmer got it. I guess. Hey, what he said, Jimmy? Steve Ballmer said, "Man, it ain't tricking when you got it." He said, "I got it."
So guess what? You know what that means? That means that the accountability, not expectations, but the accountability for Paul George.
Jimmy, increases. he was a max player before this one. Jimmy, he a max player now.
Yes, but the accountability now, because now you're extending outward of another 4 years.
Jimmy, he gonna be older the next 4 years.
That's why the accountability still though, because you gave him this. It's not like, understand, this isn't your deal where you're giving the guy the max deal and you're also rewarding him for what he's done for you in the past. And that's what a lot of programs have done. You know, sometimes, you know, you give it in, they'll write it in, and that's like an appreciation package on the back end. Well, what the hell have Paul George done for the Clippers lately and before? But guess what? So now nobody feels sorry. He shouldn't. Now when Dame Lillard goes at his ass again, you know, take it like a man. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. When you get to eat that, just take it like a man. That's what comes with it though. Whenever the stakes are higher, more to how's it going in your biblical terms, Alan? To
whom much is given,
much
is required.
There you go.
Y'all.
Those
are not my words.
Accountability.
Yeah.
That's accountability. That's the slogan of accountability.
I've always held him accountable. He's been a max player for a long time. Just because he's making a 10 more million a year, Jimmy, he's been a max player. He's a pig. They trying to put makeup on a pig, Jimmy. That's one of your analogies there.
They ain't trying. They did.
He's still a pig. Jimmy, hey, somebody tell me you got a good agent. Hell no, they got a dumbass owner. Steve Ballmer said, "Hey, Paul, hey, now hold up, Jimmy. Now you know who stuck Doc in the back. Jimmy, I connect docs. See, that's one of the docs, Jimmy. Now you know who got stuck Doc in the back.
Who stuck him in the back?
It had to be him. He got the bag. You remember they said, how in the hell did Doc leave and with Kawhi and Paul Pierce had to sign off on it? Remember? Wow.
So now the question for you, Hatter, is over from Derek Johnson. Shout out to Derek over in Germany. And he says, why is Paul George's deal greater than AD's? Is it because he's been in the league longer?
Yes. I put yes on there. I meant to put yes. See, AD All AD had to wait is one more year, and then he had 10 years of service. 1 or 2 more years. But he didn't want to wait. He wanted, because he said his back was about to give out, he wanted that money. If he had to wait 10 years of service, you can get that super duper max, Jim. That's all.
So now explain this the max versus super max.
Yeah, okay, you can get a max. It's just your years of service. You got each team can maintain their player that they feel they maxed a player. But what happens is like what's the boy name? Jamal Murray. He got a max, but his years of service, the years of service extend. When you got 10 years of service, you can max it out to where Paul George just maxed it out at. You can pass. That's all. It's just when you're younger, if you notice, the young like even what's the kid name? Aaron Fox. He had a 5-year deal, right? He maxed his max was 5 years. Paul and Jimmy, I haven't looked at it. You say it's a 4-year deal?
Yeah.
It's
an extension.
Freaking believable.
And to put this in perspective, here's what Paul George has done. He signed that max deal in OKC back in 2018, right? He signed a max deal with them, right? Now, that was for $137 million.
That's as much as he can get back then because he hadn't been
at that time.
Yes, and he hadn't had the 10 years of service.
He hadn't had that deal.
Yeah.
He's flipped that deal.
Yes.
That same 4-year deal that he's working on now. Remember,
Jimmy, he didn't flip it, Jimmy. They just extended. It's a difference.
I mean, your agreement been modified, so that's the street term of you done flipped it.
No, when this deal run out, that deal will pick up. He didn't tear up the old deal. He's still under the old contract, but he just got 4 years additional to what he already had.
Well, and
extension is different. Let's say he was a free agent. Then he gets all that money starting now. But extension mean it's extended past the current value of the contract you have now. You got me? You follow me? Yeah, he got an extension.
Current value.
Yeah, because right now he got a deal. He's under contract. But soon as this contract roll out, you ain't got to hold up. They ain't got to worry about Paul talking about I'm gonna opt for free agency or nothing. He just locked in for 4 more years, and that's the max that they had to pay him.
So when this deal, the numbers, you look at you average out the numbers. You get the mean of the numbers of the 7 years.
Okay.
So it's 4 years, 3 years, 7 years. At the end of this deal that he has now, Paul George will have, if you add it together, it would be a 7-year deal for $290 million. That's about 41 mil a year over 7 years, the average. Mind you, what did LeBron just re-upped 2 years?
Yeah.
For what?
Almost 50 a year, 45 a year, 50 a year.
So Paul George,
it's the same.
Is that close? Is that close?
No, Jimmy, no. See, that's why we always mix this thing up. Jimmy, it's not how much you're worth and how much you're valued. It's how much you can get and how much you can negotiate and the timing of your deal. That don't mean Paul is better than them. Paul deal just came up now. He in a position he with a team. See, I think LeBron could have got this deal if he wanted to. He didn't want to hamstring his team. He wanted to be able to. You got to understand, LeBron Paul getting money from everywhere. But it's just, ain't nothing we can do about it, y'all. Hey, let me tell you something. I think if these players can get it, Jimmy, I want him to get all the money he can. Because if an owner is paying him that much, can you imagine how much he making off him? So I'm not mad at Paul. Paul, I was just kidding with you in the beginning. Go get your money, bro. Cause guess what? When you got your mental problems like you had and people laughing about your mental problem, you can be mentally on an island somewhere by yourself, not bothering nobody with that money they finna pay you over these next few years. And Jimmy, I'm always on the side of the player. I know he might not be that good enough. I know he might not do this. I know he might, but every player is different. Paul wants his bread. LeBron want to keep winning championships. LeBron know if me and Anthony Davis, he said, Anthony, go take that deal. They represented by the same people. We don't want a hamstring out. We trying to win again, man. Anthony Davis, one ring ain't good enough. Let's win again. But everybody don't think like that. Paul, what his name? Playoff Paul, what his name? George. He was in the bubble up 3-1. And in that fifth game, Jimmy, he was up 19 points and came back and got his ass tore off and got my partner and his coach fired. and yes, it's personal. It's personal. Up 3-1 on the Denver Nuggets. And you get rewarded, Jimmy. So guess what? If your kid, I see why these mamas, hold up. I see why these mamas want their kids to go to NBA. Mamas, I don't blame y'all. And make sure you get your tall dude, and guys get your tall gal, and y'all make some big tall ass babies. Cause let me tell you something. That NBA is fantastic for paying them checks. And what you said in the beginning, Jimmy, is guaranteed. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's so. And of course, NBA news. Don't forget, guys, the preseason cranks up tomorrow, 24 hours from now. The preseason for the NBA is back in action. The Houston Rockets will be in Chicago, and they will play against Chicago in Chicago. There are 2 preseason games, and of course, Sterling Brown is not with the team as he awaits for some health reasons. And James Harden, we all know, did not make the trip with the Houston Rockets, as he now must complete 6 consecutive negative tests before joining the team. 6 straight. So that basically means you're going to get tested every day, and you have to pull through 6 straight. It's like back in the days, if you were at practice and the coach say, we can end practice and whoever make 10 straight free throws, and everybody's rooting for this guy to make those free throws so you can end practice. So this is how either the Rockets will be rooting for James Harden to complete those negative tests or not. Which I mean, I would assume that a lot of the players that you remember, you have like maybe 4 to 5 new faces in the organization. I'm talking about in the personnel, employees, players. So most of those guys are anxious to actually play with him. And at the same time, the coach, if you notice some of the reports and some of the articles, the media has been baiting Stephen Silas into making comments, and he's been consistent with his stance on it. Finally, he came out with his reasoning, because they asked him 2 days ago when James first came in town and arrived and took his test, and they asked him, did he see or speak with James Harden? And he said at the time, yes. I said, hello. Basically left it at that. I spoke to him, said hello. So then he came back and clarified, and because people wondered why hadn't you talked to him prior. And Coach Silas and his statement, his words were basically that he wanted to have a face-to-face conversation with Harden. He didn't want it to be through a text message or direct message or whatnot, or over the telephone. He says he wanted to have this first conversation as in their new stance, in his new position, face to face. However, Harden comes back, they can't go face to face because of COVID protocol. That means James Harden is on one side of the Toyota Center, and he's not able to go.
So why didn't the coach just say that?
Well, at the first, I'm saying he just said that. He said that as well in this clarification.
And I hope people know this NBA protocol thing. They are drafting certain things in this thing as we speak right now. Everything ain't concrete yet. It's a fluid situation. Like people, I've been hearing of them those commentators from the other side talking about what his name, Harden violating some rules. Shit, he ain't got the damn rules yet. How is he violating the rules going to little babies? And the rules hadn't been issued yet. The rules hadn't been issued yet. Shit, he ain't been around the team. The rules hadn't been issued yet. And it's just so crazy out here. But back to what you were talking about the coach. I just wanted to interject that the protocols, they're still working on them right now. They even got to find which hotels in every city, which restaurants in every city that they are able to be able. How they gonna pick that out? How they gonna pick that out?
You gotta be part of the good old boy network to get included in some of those restaurants that would be permissible for them guys to attend.
Guess who own a restaurant in every town?
And every one of them, and most of them, and many of them, we have Tillman Fertitta, and his Landry's Corporation, is the parent company of several food chains. Well, probably some of the popular franchises would be Saltgrass. I think that would be more feasible for a lot of people around the country.
Them guys ain't going to Jimmy. They don't go to Saltgrass, Jimmy.
No. I'm just giving you an example of people that's in most cities. Not to saying the Rockies or NBA guys going there. I'm talking about that you would identify with Tillman Fertitta. No, Jimmy. Somebody that may be living in Timbuktu, they might know a Saltgrass. Like, I didn't know.
Jimmy, he owned more than Saltgrass. Jimmy, he owned.
No.
But I'm just saying. Okay, I got you.
I'm just saying that was one of the many restaurants that most common folk can identify with in rural areas outside of Tillman Fertittaville. And so, but this situation, as you mentioned, the NBA, they understand they did a great job, got an A+ with the bubble. There's no way to duplicate that now because you're not going to be in the bubble. And however, the NBA has done their part with the scheduling. In case you guys hadn't taken notice, they put the schedule out earlier this week in a fragmented version up until a certain point, I think up until March. Well, then they'll release, when they get closer, they will release the rest of the schedule. Because that way now it leaves room for a lot of makeup stuff or a lot of games. Now they can piece them in and load those in the second half. A lot of if any team has to sit still or sit idle as a result of the pandemic. I think that's smart. So like I said, other professions are looking at the NBA now to see if they're going to get it right. If the good lightning will strike twice in benefit of the NBA. Because it doesn't look good for college basketball right now at all. Especially, but we'll talk about them shortly. The rules, that's the only thing that the NBA has mentioned is that there soon will be they're crafting those COVID guidelines, some new set of them, but it won't be nothing that will in other words, there won't be 3 positives and you're out equals a forfeit. It won't be any of that. Yeah. It's not what I'm saying? It's not going to be certain amount. If this certain player tests positive, then you can't play. It won't be any of that. Jimmy, so that means now,
Jimmy, do you know it's some players? Do you know college basketball right now? Did you know college basketball? If a player is tested positive, they can't test them no more.
You know what? I heard that. I just heard that about a week ago.
So guess what?
And say that again. So
if a player's already been tested positive, they can't test him no more. You remember when the team was going to go to Orlando? A lot of people was going to go to Orlando during the Christmas holidays for this big tournament, and a lot of them wound up going with the North Dakota and all. The rules were more stringent in Orlando than it is in North Dakota in those obscure places places out there that got more relaxed rules. When they told me that, I said, so a lot of players are probably positive. So, but once they tested positive, Jimmy, you can't test them no more. So they positive, they positive. I said, what? Tell me, you didn't hear from me. I said, well, shit, I heard it. I said, wow. So Jimmy, now if you haven't been tested positive, you can be tested. But if you have, and doing what you call it, the HIPAA laws, we'll never know. We'll never know.
Well, the thing about it is, in today's society, for every positive, their teammates will know. And every teammate that you have has a circle of influence. And so that means in some of those circles of influence, we'll find out. And then those circles of influence have boys back in the hood at the bar, or at the club that they relate to, that they are part of their circles of influence. So it's like a big pyramid of contacts, and that chain of info will eventually flow in certain cities. And that's how the streets find out a lot of things before mainstream media go. When it comes to dirt, mainstream media, a lot of those reporters will, sometimes it can be a hell of a risk for them to go out and, their job, their oath to their vows of being a journalist prevents or hinders them from reporting just straight innuendo or rumors or gossip. They have to go and get fact check a lot of things that they break, or that's why they will quote their source, or they will say they will leave their source and deem them as anonymous, which they know their source is solid enough to go and move with.
Well, maybe different teams, because I talked to 3 teams yesterday, and all of them told me, if you're tested positive, we don't. In other words, he might say we can't test them again. Maybe the player can refuse to be. I don't know the problem. He just told me they can't test them again, Rob. We can't test them again. Maybe it's different in different schools. I know 3 teams told me that. And I said, what? They said, man, they're not talking about it. And let me tell you something. All I'm doing is going by a team official telling me. And he volunteered this to me. He said, this COVID thing is so crazy, Robert, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He said, I don't see how we're going to ever get it under control. It's so bad that even Coach K said, man, are we doing the wrong thing? But people saying, he said, are we doing the wrong thing now? Are we doing the wrong thing? We need to rethink this thing. This stuff is badder than we thought. This second wave, it was serious. People thought the second wave. Yeah, it's serious. Thank you, Anthony Farr. Okay, thank you, Anthony Farr. That's what the coach, three separate universities told me that. But, some people, feel they know it. I'm just giving you the information. Ain't my information. The information came from 3 Division I universities. And Coach K. Jimmy, what did you think about Coach K? Saying, before we go there, Jimmy, what do you think about Trae Young, y'all, getting a shoe deal? A new shoe deal, and getting a signature to a shoe. Is that a little too premature? Or I got a question. You know my questions. I want people to people to tell me, would you buy a Trae Young shoe? I'll tell you one thing, Jimmy. James Harden just came out with a new shoe, Jimmy. Boy, let me tell you something. He just came out with a new shoe. Y'all do me a favor. Google James Harden new shoe and tell me. Pretty nice, Adidas. I hope they do Trae Young's along this line because I mean, how many people on this feed have ever bought a James Harden shoe? How many people on this feed? I want to know. I mean, I'm curious. You can be anonymous if you want to.
Alan, you ain't never wore a free James Harden shoe. You would have to be how many of them bought them. Are you understand?
I'm different. I get them complimentary.
And you ain't even. That's why I just said you haven't even worn. Jimmy, you haven't even worn a free one.
Jimmy, I just said I might wear this new one.
Why would you wear a new one if you ain't wore one in the past?
This look better. This look better than all other ones. I'm telling you, this look better. Hold on. Let me find it. Let me tell you something. Yeah.
Tell you something. James Harden. Adidas knows that they are not going to recoup their money off James Harden sneaker sales. They know that already. Now, what they can do is put out a couple more shoes and expedite the release of some of those other shoes like they're doing right now and push them on out. Have another one come out at the All-Star break. Well, it won't be an All-Star game this year. Have another one come out in the spring. Have another. That way you can expedite and get it all out there because his value probably has peaked.
I'll wear that shoe right there, Jimmy. I'll wear that shoe.
Dude, not in Houston. Not without it getting stepped on. It gets stepped on like on Do the Right Thing. Remember that dude stepped on what's my guy name? Radio Raheem shoe. And he's going.
Hey, y'all can get mad and hate on James all you wanna. Them things, they're sweet. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Them things, they're sweet, Jimmy. Hey, them things, they're sweet, man. I'm just telling you, y'all. Jimmy, I can wear them while I'm working out. In my neighborhood, hold up. In my neighborhood, ride my bike, I sure will wear them. Yes, I would. Okay. So hold up. Trae Young is about to have a signature shoe. Would y'all buy them? Would you buy some? Not you, Jimmy. Some people might buy a Trae Young shoe.
Well, Trae Young's street cred right now, he's embraceable. He's cute. Understand? He's the second. He's projected, or hopefully for many, to be the next Steph Curry. However, Steph Curry won 3 championships, but in Atlanta, based on their turmoil and the depth of which that program had sunken into, Trae Young is a ray of hope and a breath of fresh air. He's been making plays. He's been making shots. He's been passing the ball. At the same time, and Atlanta is right there on the cusp and should be a playoff team this year. Remember, they have Clint Capella in the fold now. That's going to be a well-rested Clint Capella, who's definitely good for about 9
Jimmy,
8, 9
would you buy his shoe? A lot of people winning it. Would you buy a shoe? You don't buy Stefan's shoe.
If I was a shoe head, it depends on how it looks for most shoe heads. But I would assume that Trae Young show a picture of his shoe.
His shoe ain't out. He coming out 21. He ain't got that kind of.
What I'm talking about, they should have a prototype.
No, 20. Come out 21 sometime. 21 in the fall.
Oh, 21.
Because Jimmy,
is balling.
Jimmy,
he buy that shoe.
Jimmy, he just signed the deal, right? So they got to go into plan. They're gonna have a signature line of apparel and everything. Those things kind of nice. I like that shoe by James Harden, though. I don't care what y'all say. And hold up, y'all don't even buy Damian Lillard's shoe. Oh, ain't Damian Lillard got street cred? He the best rapper. He the best rapper in the NBA. When you're a rapper, don't you have street cred? Why nobody's buying Damian Lillard's shoe? How many people bought Damian Lillard's shoe? He for Adidas.
Well, understand, winning, it helps. It helps. It's not the end all be all because James Harden, but when you win, it helps because you wearing the shoe of a winner. It makes you feel like, it makes you somewhat feel like a winner. You wear, that's why you win a champion. You wear that product of the guy that's supreme. That's why back when golf shirts, when golf product took a surge in the urban communities after Tiger Woods, but for more reasons than one, of course, for the urban influence. But at the same time, when Tiger Woods won, you felt you won that, you put that shirt on, it made some people feel like they were gonna hit that ball like Tiger Woods. It made them feel like that. Remember when the Michael Jordan shoes came out back in the days? Remember the slogan was "You be like it be like Mike." It made some people feel that if you put on J's, you were gonna fly like Mike.
That's a hell of
and really,
that's a good campaign. That's right. I like that. Keep going. That's good. That's good. I just keep showing. I'm just showing different angles of the shoe. Keep going. Keep talking.
Let me tell you something. In this city, now maybe in the next city that he gets traded,
thank God we got four. Hey, thank God we got a whole lot of other cities. Thank God.
Guess what? And then show you how crazy it is. In case you guys hadn't heard, the Athletic released that an account yesterday evening that guess what? That James Harden has added a couple of more cities that he would possibly consider.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
As moving to Miami and Milwaukee. Let me hold on, guys. Let me crack open some water on this. If you guys just hadn't forgot, 2 years ago during the NBA All-Star Game selection process, it was LeBron picking against the Greek Freak. And the Greek Freak skipped over James Harden and made a joke about it. That joke was picked up and responded. James Harden responded in an innuendo-ish way. Then that fast forwarded into this year when Greek Freak doubled down his lack of respect or lack of fondness for James Harden. And so now, for you to get to pick all the teams you possibly want to go to, you want to go play with Greek Freak. And what makes you think that the Greek Freak wants you to come play with him? He wouldn't even pick your ass for free to play in the All-Star game. Greek Freak, any player that comes into that
just means the Greek Freak is one of the got a lot of ignorance. You not picking one of the top 5 players in the NBA to come on your team. That's you. He Greek Freak from he from Greece. The hell he know? Guess what? He don't even know. Guess what he said in this guy you bragging about right now? They asked him yesterday about his contract. And he said, I'm just working on me. I'm just working on me. I'm not thinking about no contract. I'm just working on me. Dude, your contract, these people trying to figure out what they were going to do with your ass. They put a pen. They get what they put in his locker. A nice set of pens. So he can sign this deal that they got on the table for him. So Greek Freak, remember now, he's an employee. So guess what? James and Jimmy, what if James just said, look, I'm giving y'all options. I gave you another option this morning. I gave you weren't here, I gave you what about the Warriors? Ain't nobody said nothing about the Warriors. Amina Hassan said it yesterday. So what about the Warriors? Will y'all take James Harden? Will you take James Wiseman, Jimmy? Will you be happy with James Wiseman? For James Harden?
For who?
For James Harden. James Harden go play with Stephon Curry. Jimmy, what do you hell y'all want? If y'all don't like him, he ain't this. What you just said, he don't nobody pick him in a pickup game. Why you want so much?
You say if y'all don't like him, of course you mean in the Rockets.
If
the Rockets don't like him, they wouldn't have gave him the money. The Rockets do like him.
No, I'm talking about your fans. No. The Rocket fans. You just said us fans. You told me a long time ago. The fans don't like him. They don't care for him. They won't buy his tennis shoes. They won't do this. So I'm talking from a fan's point of view because I knew neither of y'all are GM. I'm just saying from a fan's point of view. Wouldn't you take James Wiseman?
No, not right now. Maybe a month ago, yes, but
Tell
not
me
right now.
what you want for James Harden. This guy
I
who don't nobody want.
I explained it to you before.
Who you want right now?
It would have to be an MVP caliber player in this upcoming season, or a near MVP type candidate from the past season. That would have to be included in the package. You have to realize you're talking about a guy that's finished in the MVP voting each of the past 3 to 4 years. So you got to get something in the range to move the needle back. Guess what? You ain't got the good thing about the Rockets. The good thing for the Rockets, and they know this, is that this ain't the last year. He has 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah.
It ain't like the Kawhi Leonard situation in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard was on his last year. Kawhi say, "The hell with y'all, I'm load managing." So now what the NBA does, thanks to COVID, they have measures in place that will hit your ass right in the pocket. The teams for allowing a load management.
Let me tell you something.
And they're going to go and fit. Understand? Here's what they'll do as the program, and that's why both teams are both parties are stuck with a hand behind their back. And I'll explain to you why. And I touched it the other day.
I'm beginning to not care right now. I don't care.
Let me tell you what I said, stuck with a hand behind their back. The Rockets know that, like I said, the more if they can become the villain. Right now, they're not the villain. They're not, because a lot of people understand you want to get fair value or as close to fair value as you can. So they're not the villain. But as long as this thing can string out, and the more teams that Harden releases that he's willing to go to, as the teams open up, as he open up to approve, then at some point in time the Rockets will become they will become the villain. And it's like, hold on, now you're holding this dude hostage. Now let him go. So now when that happens, then it shifts. Well, James Harden, if he pinches them the wrong way, it's like anything. It's like players. And I'll give you an example like this, guys. Let's say there's a college player that's good in the city, and something happens with that university, and that college player gets mad or gets out of favor, and he wants to go and have a public joust with the university or the coaches. You know what they would do at some point in time? They will let the teachers, they will let them know whatever classrooms he's making his grades in, they're not going to help anymore. Help meaning that sometimes a coach have to make a call to a teacher or to a professor to help. You know, hey, look here, let's give him a makeup test. That's what they do. Sometimes if he gets in trouble with the police, gets stopped in the law, by the law coming home from a bar. This happens to college kids all the time. And guess what? The assistant coach got to come down there and make things right, so to speak. Okay, so what happens when you get out of favor? They call the dogs off. Or they sick the dogs on you, put it like that. Like, so whatever happens to you now, then they're going to leak out your flaws. But they can't do it right now, because if they did, it messes value up even more. They will leak out your bad habits. But they can't do it right now because it would make the value drop even more. Once they sell, once the product is moved, expect the campaign smear from the local media. The Houston Rockets will be leaking. They'll be holding their hands behind their back. You can expect different things to be in continuance for him. That's what's at risk if this thing lands the wrong way. And he should be, James Harden and his supporting cast should be smart enough to know that that's a thing that's at risk. So you're going to play ball, you got to play it the right way and let this thing let it end smoothly, or give it an opportunity to end smoothly. That's what he has to do. And that's why I say both of them are restricted right now.
I got something for you. I'm tired of that stuff. I just saw something, Jimmy. The Atlanta Hawks. You just mentioned them a minute ago, and I meant to add this to it. The Atlanta Hawks are refinancing, Jimmy, $35 million worth of loans for their practice facility. Okay, in Atlanta.
Where they come from?
No. This them financing it. Not from the team. The Hawks are going to finance this themselves. They're going to get their, they're going to build their own practice facility, right? They became the first professional sports team to secure financing with black-owned banks. That's the first time. Like when you want to borrow money, these guys want to borrow money. Most of these people are borrowing money from white banks. This is the first time in sports team history, team sports, have they ever secured. Let me tell you something. I'm cheering for the Atlanta Hawks now. I'm gonna cheer for the Atlanta Hawks now. And then I like what your boy did yesterday. I like what Mark Cuban did yesterday. Mark Cuban, and Jimmy, I ain't never heard of this. 30 years in this business, I ain't never seen this. Mark Cuban signed J.J. Barea, Jimmy, to a $2.5 million deal. And then cut him and said, that's your severance package. I'll see you later. That's your severance package. You gone. Never seen that happen. It's some things happening in sports that are positive. And today we got we got a lot of negative going on. But today when people do this, you got to think about it, Jimmy. The NFL, any team sport we ever been, it's the first time somebody secured from a black-owned bank, so the black-owned bank can make some money. Man, shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. And I know a lot of that probably went over a lot of people's head, but shout out to Atlanta Hawks because that's a major move. Major move, especially if you in the finance community and understand how hard it is to get finance. You'll understand that. What you said, Jimmy?
Well, in Atlanta, ironically, the community activist and the rapper, what's his name? The big
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike. He's a part of a group that has a black-owned financial institution, an online bank. So that's inspiring. You can see that idea starts to have the ripple effect in Atlanta. Obviously, somebody now they're being consciously aware. And my thing is, and I reached out. Speaking of Georgia, because it's expired now with their upcoming runoff vote for the 2 Senate seats, awaiting only less than 1 month away, and I had reached out to one of the college coaches with an idea, I thought it was a grand slam of an idea, but I wanted the coach to spearhead it from his part on downward through the grassroots community. And now the deadline to register for the runoff, I think, has expired.
Yes, it's expired. Yeah, it was Monday.
But the plan was back then this was about 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, when I reached out to Coach, and he was like, he loved it. But then I said, Coach, now it's on you. Let me know what you need. I got phone numbers if you need them for a lot of the guys, the grassroots. What the play was going to be. This was a black head coach in Georgia, in the state of Georgia, a black college coach. I reached out to him and I said, look good. The optics look good coming from you. Get a couple of your peers, not just basketball. Reach out to all the black head coaches and assistant coaches in your state. You can galvanize y'all. Draft up a little email and let them know, here's the play. You want to go now and encourage all of the grassroots programs in your state that have players and alumni who's 17 years, 10 months old to register to vote. Even that means you're that age and older, register to vote. That means now you will have a movement that people will see swirling like a tornado coming from the student athletes and their influencers to register to vote in that state. I say, man,
How
if
long
you
ago
do
was
this, I'm
this?
telling you,
Did you give them this
about
information?
about 3 weeks ago. And he was like, man, he was like cheat sheet. That's a hell of an idea, cheat
Have,
sheet,
have,
man. Man,
have you touched bases with him since?
no, I mean, and I didn't think about it no more until when I realized the deadline had just for the register for the vote. The deadline was just like a day or two ago, and that's when I thought about it again. I said, man, coach can't even get back with me,
Jimmy, you know how important this that
man.
runoff election is. Do you
Dude,
know
if
how?
that would have happened,
No.
if that would have happened,
Do you know how important that runoff election is? They got the George Floyd bill, the Policing Act, is on that guy's desk. He said he's not going to even bring it to a vote. It's passed in the House. It's a lot of bills that's sitting on the desk that's passed through the House that Mitch McConnell and see if the Democrats win those 2 seats, it would bring it's 50 Democrat. I mean 50 to 50 Democratic and 50 Republican, and the majority, the person who would be the majority, Senate majority, would fall in the hands of the vice president, who would be Kamala Harris. That's how important. So all of these bills that Mitch McConnell said he's not going to do, police reform and all of that, he's not going to do. I'm just not going to do it. Because guess what? My job was to make I'm still mad at Obama. So that's how important voting is in that area, and these two runoffs between these two people. So, and Jimmy, I'm glad you told that guy that. I wish we could have been talking about it a little bit more on the show.
I mean, sometimes when
and them guys might have picked up. They might have picked up the mantle. We don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I was trying to do it, and of course, the idea came to me one night.
Yeah,
and I called him.
Right,
the head coach. He picked up the phone. This was actually, believe it or not, this was a Wednesday night. I'll never forget, because we were riding home on the way from date night. I said, I just got an idea.
Right,
and they're an hour in Georgia. They're an hour ahead of us.
Right.
So it's 9:30 here. It was about 10:30 his time. Coach picked up the phone. Second ring, bleep bleep. And I didn't think he was going to answer it. So then I explained to him. And I was like, Coach. Now Coach was kind of groggy a little bit, but he woke up and heard me. He was like, Chichi, that's a hell of an idea. That's some powerful shit. I say, that's what I'm, Coach. I say, Coach, you can do it. You can get, but it will take a little work. I say, get one of those little guys, one of those little black video guys, or the black student graduate assistants or something, and they can do all of the footwork on it and the getting the info and drafting and everything up. I say, this thing could be big. And sure enough, I understand the season starts. You got COVID stuff going on, the pandemic, different college coaches. And I know he probably, who knows? Hell, I probably don't realize how sleepy he was. He might have had one eye open, one eye closed. And might have thought I was supposed to call him back with stage step 2.
Well, thank God we got people down there that's active in that community doing some work, Jimmy. They let me tell you something. It's boots on the ground down there. But Jimmy, we're gonna take a break. But Jimmy, this morning, before, I don't like to answer the phone before the show. You know how we are. I got this thing, 11 o'clock, I don't answer the phone. So my phone kept ringing. So guess what? 3 former NBA players, they calling me, trying to put me in this mess. And I said, man, I'm not talking about this mess on the show. Man, this shit ain't worth, this stuff ain't worth, y'all. This stuff ain't worth me stopping the show to do. But guess what I'm going to do, man? After they explained it to me and we got to talking, Jimmy, I almost was late for the show arguing with these guys. So what I'm going to do, during the break, I'm going to put this up, y'all. I want y'all to take a look. And during the break, I want y'all to think about which team wins. Okay? All I want to know, Jimmy, you write it down. Jimmy, you can keep up with it. Jimmy, it's gonna be crazy. This is what they sent me this morning. This is the thing. Which row wins?
Man,
which row? They argued with me. Which row wins? And when we come, take a good look, y'all. The first row, LeBron in their prime. LeBron, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Allen Iverson. versus Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, Dave Robinson. Third, Penny Hardaway, what's his name? Keem Olajuwon, Kevin Durant, and Kobe. Y'all take a good look. I'll put it back on. Just take a good look. Who wins? I mean, these dudes were serious, Jimmy. Because I said, dude, are y'all serious? And they each had, one of the guys played against most of them. And it's surprising to tell him. I'm going to tell you, he picked. I ain't going to tell you who he picked. But we're going to take a break and we'll come back in a minute. I just want to know what the boom, boom, boom think about it, Jimmy. But Chop Shop, we'll be back in a minute.
Because these guys thought, here's the deal, Michael, and you follow it. These guys think you go from high school to college, it's easy. They watch it on TV, go, yeah, I can do that. That jump from high school to college is really hard. Learning how to compete, learning how to play with other good players, understanding that now these scouting reports are sophisticated, they're taking away what you do well. It's a lot more physical. You take a play off, you get exposed. You take a bad shot, and it's a transition play the other day.
Right.
These other guys you're playing against, they're preparing for the game. They're on scholarship also. They have expectations also. So,
welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter alongside Jim Hicks. Jim Hicks, I played that excerpt twice because Seth David, I mean, we were just talking about those college players. Okay, we were just talking about those college players. You want to take a break? Okay, let me see. Let me get Jimmy out. Okay, we was talking about those college players and how they. Jimmy just took a quick break right quick. He got to take a call. How they, just I think what is it, yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. We was talking about young college players and their transition until the to college basketball. But now, back to y'all, I just want to find out. I'm trying to see. We finna go again. I'm gonna put it back up there. They arguing about this, man. One of the guys with Theo Ratliff, he was the main caller, and he put that up there. He said, Rob, he said, why? Tell me. He said, which one you win? And I said, what? You want me to tell you with my heart or my head? He said, tell me with your head. Then I looked. I went and looked at them guys. And notice, the question I asked everybody. I said, who is the fifth man? They said, don't worry about no fifth man. If you got these four right here playing on your team, in each one of them prime, all them primes, who wins? And I saw a lot of people say, nobody said one. I didn't see nobody said one. Nobody said one. Why not? Why not LeBron, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, and Allen Iverson? Y'all don't think they will win? And we'll set 7-game series, however y'all want to do. I'm just curious. What would y'all? Who y'all? Let me see. I didn't see. Oh yeah, it did. One, first row, third row, then the second. Okay, go. At least Corey said it. Okay, I didn't see nobody. I got to go back through the thing. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go back. I didn't see but 1-1. Anybody else with one? It's crazy, man. Just think about that. I mean, we having. I'm talking about in their prime and all of them healthy. Who would win? Hold up. Let me see, Jimmy. I'm gonna get. I got a grassroots. I got some grassroots stuff for it. I hope Jimmy can hear me. I saw something, y'all. I'm trying to find it for you. Hold up. Let me share it with y'all. Let me get this off the screen. All right. I haven't read it yet. Somebody told me, Robert. They sent it to me. They didn't tell me who. They just told me to read it. They said, to all the kids. Oh yeah. Okay. You ready? Okay. To all the kids, upset about the high school rankings today. Just remember, keep working. I think they were talking about the national rankings. Never let a ranking control your destiny. I wish I would have listened to people tell me years ago that the only rankings that matter is Adam Silver's. I wouldn't have so much gray hair in my head for years. I would be upset with the media and the grassroots people who overlook, oh, this Trae Young daddy. I'm sorry. It's Trae Young daddy. Okay, he said who overlooked Trae because of his size and athleticism. He was never ranked in the top 20 in high school, but he persevered. I watched Colin Sexton go from unranked to top 10 NBA pick. And we all know Ja Morant's incredible story. Point is, there's always going to be favorites, and it's true politics. And it's true, politics do play a part in it, but that's okay. Keep your head down. Pick the right school that fits your game. Keep working and believe in God's plan because it's real. It will work itself out. Take it from someone who lived it and is living it now. Those rankings won't stop the paychecks from coming unless you let it. Hope this helped. Wow. I didn't know they sent it to me and said, Robert, you need, and I didn't have time to read it before the show. What do y'all think about that, man? Trae Young, I guess the dad, he was so emotional about his little son who now happened to be in the NBA. He was an all-star last year, and now he got his own signature shoe. And I hope the reason I was reading that, because they told me, Robert, your audience need to hear this. Thank you, Crystal Wicks. That's free game. Jimmy, you read? That's free game. And Jimmy, this was in your wheelhouse, so I don't really like to. Did you hear me at all, Jimmy?
All I heard the beginning. I was you mentioned about the rankings. Don't let the rankings discourage you.
No. Yeah, it was from. I didn't realize somebody sent it to me last night, but I didn't have a chance to read it. But it was from Rayford Young, and he was just talking about the how Trae Young wasn't always the top pick. Somebody was telling me the other day, and I didn't even think about it. Jared Culver wasn't a highly touted player for a long time. Even Zaire Smith wasn't a highly touted. The guys from that, they weren't highly touted it, and he didn't just say rankings didn't matter. He just said, like you always said, Jimmy,
Don't let them
politics.
discourage you.
Yo, don't let them
Yeah, don't let them get
discourage you.
down.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Well, you know what? If you go and just dig deep into the psyche of this,
Okay.
because, and this is what happens. It becomes discouraging to a lot. It means the rankings or the lack of the respect from a certain portal.
Yeah. Okay.
Because when these kids are putting in that sweat, and when you're trying to lure them to come and work out, grind it out, put in the extra work, this is what many of you grown folk are selling to the kid.
Selling them
You
what?
ain't gonna get. You want to get ranked, then you got to put in this work. You want to get this. You get ranked, get the exposure. You want to get out there. You want to become this. You got to get this. This is what you got to do.
Right. Right.
You see.
Right.
So if rankings is part of the bait that they are important. Using,
they're important.
Then you've already set the bar of the rank. So that means when this young man don't
Jimmy,
get ranked,
I'm sorry, Jimmy, follow me, because I want you to know, because I'm sometimes I don't get it. I just want to make sure it's clear. You saying if you're gonna use the rankings as a barometer to fuel his workouts and tell him, then you can't come later and say rankings don't matter.
Exactly.
If you use it as a barometer and what you call it, something to entice the player with. I didn't never think about that. If you're actually using that, then it is important. And hold up, Rafer Young didn't say it wasn't important. He just said if you don't get ranked, it's okay. It's okay.
But that's the thing. See, so if that was part of the sale
in the beginning,
that's part of the sale. When you're first trying to bait those young kids to come in. Remember, you got to beg and trick some of these young kids to come and work out.
But Jimmy, they should want to work out if you're going to get good.
Yeah. Different whole level of society. Different whole year. They should.
So you're saying people are enticing young guys.
So that's part of what the trick is.
Okay, it's a trick. That means no, Jimmy. Is it a trick or is it?
I call it tricking. I call it a trick because you're not telling them the real thing. Because guess what? Even some kids out there, for most out there, they can work their ass out from sun up to sundown. They can go and shoot 1,000 jumpers an hour. It won't even matter because you still won't be a McDonald's All-American.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Absolutely. You can go to every damn camp you want.
You're right.
You can pay every rankings guy, or you can pay every guy for every tweet you can find. You still won't damn matter. You won't be a Division I basketball player.
I got you. I concur.
For some of these kids out there.
Yeah, for some of them. Yeah, you're right. No matter how many
and
work
so
out.
The thing is, so what the lure is to gain a psychological advantage as you are the guy, you are the crutch that can help this kid obtain his goal, his dream. So that means, and guess what? You're not supposed to rain. You're not wrong. And I'm not saying rain on the kids' parade, but then if as good as some of you guys are at creating your influence, if you can just insert, while you have the engine, the hood open and the engine out, if you can insert the plan B into the mindset of the kid and the family, I promise you, then only then will life be great, and when these young people will understand, and then it won't sting as much. The Division I or bus mentality won't be so prevalent. Once again, while you have them wide open, just insert the thought. Now look, we're gonna do our best to get here. But guess what? We might have to go the long road. We might have to go JUCO 1 year. You know what? Everybody can transfer now without sitting out. We might have to do a year of prep school. We might. You might not play that many minutes. If you want to go to a bigger school, you might not get off the bench. You might not. But those are not part of the of the initial sale in the quest, because now every player.
But Jimmy, every player has a chance to get the opportunity to get great, but be good. But it's not going to happen. So when you telling when you tell the workout guys, so he should tell a player, you're not going to be good. You're not going to do this. You're not going to be this. You're not going to do this. So that's the tale that you should tell them. I mean, is that the sale?
No. You don't say you're not going to be good. You're saying that there's level. You're basically letting them know the reality that there's levels and there's different colleges. And you put this work in, you want to play in college, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to try and strive for the Division I. We're going to strive to get you ranked. We're going to strive to get you to the NBPA top 100 camp or whatever the highest pinnacle, what you're going to go and shoot for. However, understand, okay, if by January or April of your junior year and you don't have the invite, then listen, look back on. Let's not let that be the end, the be all.
So
let's go and move forward. And then we gonna. Now this is back when they're younger, 9th grade, 10th grade. We're gonna get, but if they get to, you letting them know the plan. Instead of just letting them know, look, we're going to prove everybody wrong. Okay, that's what you got to do to go and motivate these kids, today's kid. As Stephen Wood's great comment on the topic. He says, when you stop dangling that carrot, right, is the motivation to work still there? What happened to playing the game because you love it? You know what happens? So many of us grown folk kill that love. Sipe the love, clean out the kid, because we are as the grown folk, we are the drill sergeants. We are making it where they ain't loving it. You see, because now it becomes other things. It becomes you got to go do this, you got to do this, but then they're not understanding why they got to do all this.
Basketball is not everything, Jimmy. I understand why they want to play. If they're gonna pay Paul George that much money, if my son was 6'7" or 6'8" or whatever, I ain't gonna tell you no lie, man. That'll be a track that I will have him on. But what I would do is to make sure, because there's some 6'7s and some 6'8s, Jimmy. I was there yesterday working at Home Depot and at Lowe's and at and delivering them goddamn them packages for Amazon. So I understand that. But I'm just trying to say, I've never, it may be because I haven't been around a workout guy when they gave their sales pitch. Okay, I haven't, so I don't know what they saying to these guys, because it was never said to me that. I know why they didn't say it to me, but it was never said to me. So all I'm trying to say, I can't believe you telling me. So the way the workout guys come around now and say, look, man, you work with me, I'm going to get you ranked. I'm gonna help you get this. I'm going to help you get this. And then later on, when you don't get ranked, they blame the rankers. They don't blame the situation that the kid was in. They never told the kid, dude, this might not be for you. It's I'm echoing. Let me turn this off, Jimmy. They telling the kids it just might not be for you. So I'm just trying to figure out. Thank you, Dr. Newsom. I heard it, but I didn't think y'all heard it. But sometimes I have to take it off. Sometimes I have to put it in to stop the echo. But Jimmy, I'm just trying to find out, because it's a lot of people are in that situation right now. And I think you said some key that I've never heard you say. You said, man, when you get around 11th grade, what 11th grade? What part of the 11th grade?
Around the spring of your 11th grade year.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And after the spring of once that spring term is over, then at that point in time, right, invites to those. That's the last summer for grassroots basketball players in the general setting of things. We don't know how things want to be after this pandemic. Okay. So that means by the time once your spring is completed, That means once you get around to May the 1st,
Okay.
then that's when invites have been secured for a lot of your major camps.
Okay.
Whether it be 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, Olympic, USA basketball, a lot of that stuff is secured right around in May.
Mm-hmm.
At the worst, at the latest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at that point, if you're not ranked amongst the top front row, the magna cum laude of your area,
Okay.
or of your state,
Mm-hmm.
then why do you then this is how the turn down should be in reality. Then it's not going to be likely that you're going to get invited to a national.
Okay. Forget the camp, Jimmy. Forget the camp. What about I just want to go to college? Forget the camp. I'm going to go to college.
Back to
free.
the college. Back to the
you talking about camps. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Back to the college thing.
Okay.
In the college thing, this is where the old cliche, all eggs don't hatch on the same day, really, really does takes a precedent. When I say this all the time. When in college, understand, guys, just because John Doe has picked up an offer or is getting recruited by a team, and you may have gave John Doe 30. Every year y'all played against each other since the 2nd grade. That doesn't mean that other school don't necessarily like you. That means that they just like John Doe. Just give it a little time. Give it a little time. And time is what you have on your side when you were in 11th grade. You got your rest of your summer. You got your 12th grade high school season. And we're talking about college. And I think that most of the time, if some of the people of influence, the grown folk, if you would take the initiative to just ask these young people, ask them and their families during the first, hell, go do it today. Ask them, is Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college, if there's an opportunity to get you into one of those institutions where you can play your sport for free or next to nothing, would you consider it? Is that an option? If you ask that early on, I'm willing to bet that most of them would say yes. But the more that the lure is, when you try to when you've spent blood, sweat, and tears with these young people working them out, the more you get them, the more you let them know how good they are, the more you let them know how you just bust 20, 30 on little mo and this and that, and this is what's going on. Now they're thinking just because whatever the range that they're getting recruited by, that's what you automatically get recruited by. And now for you to say that that kid is possibly a non-Division I player, it's not a failure. It's not a failure. They still gonna pay you your money. Especially if you're upfront with them like that at the beginning, that family's still gonna pay those dues. You know why? Because my experience of talking to a lot of these parents, at the end of the day, the things that make most parents sour on the former grassroots coaches or influencers is the integrity has been compromised. That's the most common denominator of relationships being totally broken with those, and the trust being going away is, once again, the integrity has been compromised. Somebody that lied to somebody and somebody found out, or somebody in some form or fashion. So here's the thing, parents, you at the same time, you're watching the chop shop. You're being educated on things that can help you and give you tips and questions to ask, right? So why don't you take the initiative to ask those questions and see what these guys are saying? Because here's what happens. A lot of these people, a lot of the grown men, feel that you the parent, are paying for them to get your kid to a certain place, maybe Division 1. If that's what they think you want, and that's all you want, then that's all they're going to be selling to you. Understand, this is a seller's market. People are selling you any type of shit that you're willing to buy. And whatever you buy, it's a big ass flea market. They got it. I promise you that. You got guys out here. Think about it like this. Think about this, Howard. Just a couple of months ago, you had camps going on. Come here. College coaches going to be watching the live streams. Everybody going, you can't miss this camp. You can't miss that camp. A lot of those kids who attended those camps, how that recruitment going right now? I'm asking for a friend. So that's why I'm trying to tell people, just pay attention. Think about it. All them $200 a shot. And all the coaches that was there. Non-Division 1 coaches came out to a few of them. Okay, how's the recruiting going right now? I'm just curious. So who do you hold accountable for that? So the guy that rank you, then there's no fee to rank you. And then some people do charge. Some of the dudes do charge. But there's no fee to rank you. You're mad at that guy, but you're not pissed off at all about the guy that sold you some shit about coming to a camp.
But Jimmy, I thought the camp.
And if you come, then your recruitment gonna go through the roof. Where's the recruitment at?
But I thought the camp. So do they guarantee? See, I don't keep up with this stuff. Do they guarantee this what's gonna happen in camp, or do they say the opportunity? See, that's what you know.
They don't use that word. I use that word.
I know you use
they
the
don't
word.
use that word.
Okay,
They're not. Most of them not smart enough to use that word with a straight face.
Okay. I got another one for you. Sensei 100 said, Chop Shop need to reach middle school parents. No, middle school parents need to reach the Chop Shop. Bingo. By the time they reach high school, they full of whoop tick. Yes, Sensei, this what you see. Sensei, that's your responsibility. You should make sure every middle school, because you brought it up. This is how this thing works. You brought it up. You should make sure every middle school parent is watching this show. And tell them to subscribe to this thing. I'm glad you said, but now it's time for you to do something. If you really want them to have help. Because guess what, Jimmy? If middle school parents listen to this show, it would be a lot different. It'd be a lot different. I'm getting another echo, so I'm gonna put my headphones back on. But it'd be a lot different, Jimmy, if middle school parents get a steady dose of this Chop Shop. They'll know the trick, Jimmy. They'll know. See, and all we try to do is prepare you for a heavyweight fight. We know you're in a fight out there, parents. So it's in a fight, we can prepare you to throw a punch. We can prepare you to dodge a punch, which I prefer. Or we can tell you to brace your chin and get ready because you're going to get one. I don't prefer that one. I don't want you to get knocked out. You follow me? So what we try to do is we just try to prepare. You know, people fight us and we just try to give information. This is an information site. Some of y'all are so smart and so brilliant, y'all don't need the information. Y'all don't need it. We understand y'all, okay? We ain't talking to you. But it's somebody out here that, like you said, Jimmy, I said, Jimmy, we said that a month ago. But we got to tell it to people again. Because somebody might have not been listening the last time. Jimmy, as a dude told me the other day, man, it's just so crazy, and they bring this up. Even when we talk about the eagle, Jimmy, he called me and said, man, I looked up the eagle. You're right. They never fly in packs. They fly alone. I never knew that. And I'm a 55-year-old man. All we doing is give you information and you go look it up. That's all. And Carrie Holmes said, how did they say you will get ranked and highly recruited? They straight not telling you the truth. See, I don't know. Do me a favor, Carrie Holmes, get that information and show me that information Email me that information. You got to give me some proof now. You can't be like Donald Trump and them. Don't have no proof. Talking about he cheating, and you don't bring me no damn proof. Give me the flyer that's saying this information. And I would just love to just educate this thing a little bit further. And
what a lot of times the flyer may not say it, but the event or the camp director will and I've heard testimonies from parents that the camp director or the event director will make a phone call directly to them and make them believe that a certain coach asked for your son and he's going to be watching the stream and he want to see him play. A certain coach might be there and he's asked about you. He's asked for your son. So you hang up that phone, call the next parent, tell him the same spiel. You know, as a college coach is asked about your son. Now you ask him which coach, what school. They might even tell you what school. And because they know that coach is coming to town, right? And here's where the dare come in. I bet my right pocket on this one. Any parent want to do it anytime. I guarantee you it's foolproof. Call the coach yourself and ask the coach and watch what happens. Put it like this. If I'm recruiting, if you're the college coach and you're recruiting me and you wants to see me play, right? You've asked for me, right? And let's say you've asked the third party and I happen to call your cell phone or text you and say, hey, it's Jim Hicks, coach, so-and-so, this is Jim Hicks.
Yeah.
Are you going to reply to me or no?
You the player?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you didn't. I mean, I've been recruiting you.
You want to recruit me?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So if you never heard of me in your life,
if I never heard of you, I'm gonna say, homeboy.
You gonna reply to me?
No. Hell no.
So that's how you can tell parents if somebody is lying to you about trying to lure you to a camp. You call me, I give you the coach cell number. I guarantee you I will. See, that's what I'm saying. This is what nobody. Let me tell you something. In this city, I was told this years ago, and I was part of creating the Frankenstein of what we see now.
Okay.
And I mean by the Frankenstein, meaning that there are and guess what? And I'm not mad or angry that there's so many people covering Houston. That's a great thing. I just get disappointed in the tactics and the antics which a lot of people use while covering and try to play on the parents while their efforts to cover.
But Jimmy, when they're young, because Jimmy, when you were younger, it's probably certain shortcuts that you took when you was young. You even said that you did certain things that you wouldn't do now. So when you know better, you do better. Is it a grace period? But I know these parents ain't got time because these parents ain't got but one kid. But Jimmy, when you know better, you do. It was a time that you didn't think like this or speak like this. You're in a position where you don't have to cut corners. You got to understand, Jimmy, we are in a microwave society. These young kids grew up getting their breakfast just like this. They didn't have to wait on 15-minute grits like on that movie. What's the name of the movie? I forgot the name of that movie with Joe Pesci in it. They didn't have to wait on 15. These people are used to getting it instant like Miss Olsen. They want it instant. And now, and that's what I'm seeing. These young guys, I see a lot of people want to be you, but they don't understand the 20-year run. And you said, I made mistakes, but now I know better. These guys gonna make the same mistakes. So what you trying to do and keep what you doing is educating the public. So the public gonna say, look, this is the standard. This is the standard. See what happens if you like people trying to follow you, but they ain't following the manual. You didn't give a manual. You didn't write a manual down. Hey, this how you do it. So guess what these guys saying? Man, this how I get out. This how I get out. This how I work. This how I do. Because they haven't read the manual. Everything you get, your VCR, this damn computer came with manuals this thick. I mean, not VCR. I'm dating myself. This TV I got, the microwave, it comes with a manual. And you don't come back. You don't ask another Jimmy. You don't ask another microwave how to fix yourself. You go back to the manual. So, Jimmy, but guess what? In this business, it hasn't been a manual. They just look at you. They look at Rick Nelson. They look at Brian Jolivet. They look at y'all. They look at Stacey Houston, and they just say, hey, man, I can do this. But it's no regulations. At least in the Asian community, you have to, Jimmy, we have to answer to the Players Association. In your industry, ain't nobody got to answer to nobody. So, of course, these dudes going to do what the hell they want to do. I'm sorry.
No, keep going, because you just made me think of something.
They're going to do what the hell they want to do. And all you can do is say, look, man, it's a difference between me and these other people. And you've been doing that. It's a difference. Who's the young fella? Sensei 100. Sensei, I am going to look to you to have every, what you call it, a middle school parent watching this Chop Chop. Because it's going to take all of, I told y'all a long time ago, we got to be intentional about sharing this Chop Chop. Because it's a person in Memphis dealing with the same problem, Jimmy. It's a person in LA dealing with the same problem. It's a person in Miami dealing with the same exact problem. But you, Jimmy, you got a platform to help. Parents, we can't be selfish. That's why I say share the show. It ain't for me. Me and him, all right. It's for y'all. Our next generation gonna know better. But now, Jimmy, I'm sorry.
What I had for you guys, you just reminded me about, you made a comment just now, and you said, and I'm copying and pasting some stuff from an email.
Okay.
And for you guys, that's what I'm doing. And and as I put this thing on for you guys, and this is going to be intriguing because I don't think, let me see how I can get this, if I can get this on the screen. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. Now, yeah.
I believe it, Melvin. Melvin Dude said something. You see what he said? He said, y'all would believe how many people we tell about the Chop Shop, but they think they know it all. I believe it, Melvin Dudes. I promise you. And all we trying to do is help. But guess what, Melvin? It's some parents that don't know. If they know it all, they going to be all right. Are they going to get got? Jimmy, what you say? They going to get got.
They going to get got. And that's the damn show.
You ready for the screen? Let me know.
Well, I'm trying to fix it where I can, because it's not, well, I got enough of it where guys can get it. Here's what we leave you with something. Here's what before we put on the screen.
Okay.
Nobody being in the scouting service, recruiting service business. There's nobody that's governing them. So here's what's happening. The NCAA,
okay,
a couple of years back, when you guys used to play in live periods, and coaches, grassroots coaches, there was no checks and balances on them. Sometimes you never know who was coaching your kid. Mm-hmm. Well, the NCAA said, you know what? They came up with a system and say, look here, these guys making bread out here and they making money. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna fix this, or we're gonna get paid too. So they made you, if you want to be a coach at a live event, then the NCAA made it where you have to pay them a fee, an annual fee, right? For to be a coach. So as you paid your annual fee, and then they made it where it would go at first in a little period of time. Now it was renewable every year. Then they went up on the fee. Then they made it where if you were a grassroots organization,
Uh-huh.
you had to register your team. Then they tightened and said, well, you have to let the players go input their information. And that's when they got all the players' info. Then now, meanwhile, the scouting services have to simply apply and show proof of some work once a year. And once they read a report that you put together and you answer a few questions, do you do this? Do you assemble 4 times? Do you supply your information at least 4 times a year to the coaches? Or are you going to charge them the same price? You say yes, 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 yes. Right? Well, guess what happens now? In 2021, the NCAA has found a way to monetize the scouting services and the recruiting services now. And I'm going to show you an exclusive to my email box. And this came from yesterday from the NCAA. So as I go to this, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff I got it where it's not showing the logos and stuff. Here it goes. We look right here. It's showing you about the account. Let's go down to the nitty gritty. Right here, it's saying that all of your scouting services now they must go. Let's start right here. Early January 2021, they must attend a live question and answer session with the NCAA Associate Director of Enforcement, Adam Morrissey. That means you have to, everybody that get approved now has to go do a Zoom call or whatnot, a live Q&A session, right? Mm-hmm. And these are the dates for these sessions right here. Session 1 and session 2, right? January the 21st or the 22nd. That's 3 p.m. Central Time. Just going down here. Check this out. Now, I'm looking for the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty of this. This is the dates where you have to apply, right? And now, here's the good part. They made a change now. Let's say, for example, me and you both have the Chop Shop recruiting service, right? We on this part right here now. Oops. We on this part right here, and we got the Chop Shop recruiting service. And let's say, but you have your own service as well.
Okay.
Check this out. Service operators who have obtained NCAA approval for multiple services during the same application session may need to alter how those applications are submitted. For example, if a service usually applies for each state or region separately, but they are part of the same service provider, it may be advisable to consolidate those applications into a single application with multiple packages available. In other words, the thing that come to mind, let's say if there are several people out there, several entities out there that has one entity, but then the next guy, he got his own service too. You got your own service. What that does, it's been a tricky way for a service to double bill the college. So now because the college only allowed to subscribe to you one time a year. Well, if we got the RCS Sports and you got the Chop Shop, and then now they can cut you a check, the Chop Shop, cut RCS Sports check. Now we both getting paid. That's double dipping. The NCAA is aware of that now. It appears that they are, and this is what they are trying to curb. So that means now they're encouraging you to put all it up under one umbrella. Now the fees down here. That will be a $50 fee charged to apply. Remember this. This never was a fee before. Now it's going to be $50 to apply, Heather. Check this out. Let's go down a little more. Once you get approved, if post-approval, right? If you get approved, where's the good stuff at? Let's get right to where's the good stuff? Oh, it's in this thing right here. You guys can't see it. It's in this thing right here. Well, I'll tell it to you. And it's in this, and on here, I have it blocked on here, my settings. Okay. You guys won't be able to see it. But in this thing right here, it says it has the fees. I'm going to tell you guys what the fees is now. You got to pay $50 to apply.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get approved, you have to pay $300 a pop.
Yearly for a year.
For a year.
Okay.
For all scouting services,
Okay.
$300 a pop. Which guess what? Now think about how many people. See, here's what happens now.
But these people are not going to enforce. They can't even enforce, goddamn it. Excuse me. They own coaches. How in the hell are they going to enforce these guys? I'm trying to figure out how we're going to stop these guys from fleecing the parents. Is y'all got something in that thing in one of them links that'll stop people from fleecing the parents?
You say from fleecing them?
Yeah, fleecing. Yes, go look it up. Fleecing.
Well,
tricking the parents. That's what we, and I understand. And they can get paid the $50 and they can pay the $300 and still bring their ass back to Memphis and still give parents false information. And I know the NCAA. I'm not looking for them to ever police nothing. That's why I said earlier, Jimmy, there is no governor. People can just do what the hell they want to. And under these rules right here, they can still do what the hell they want to. Because guess what? Let's say they take, somebody complain, he going to get his homeboy to come and do it. So, I mean, I love what you said, but I'm just trying to see how this is going to stop these guys from fleecing our people. That's all I'm trying to do. Every time I see a parent that comes on this show, I mean, Akisa said it was a guy came to a camp out there, I guess, a few years ago. He not only left here with some fleecing the parents, but he stole the basketballs, I guess, from the facility. Who steals a basketball from this facility? I don't understand that, Akisa. I wish you can explain that one to me. So, Jimmy, I'm just trying to and guess what? Corey and what's his name? Fob. I know for a fact we're not gonna get to everybody. But like I said, I know several parents that we have gotten to. And those, Jimmy, if you want to comment on that, Fob talking about.
I definitely comment on it.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
If you are a person and you are knowledgeable enough to understand, and you are knowledgeable enough to know that somebody is hoodwinking people and somebody else is not. And if you stand neutral to the person that may be close to you and you still stand neutral and allow it to happen, then guess what? You are indirectly a culprit. Then that means, so then what happens is far too many people this is what happens. People want other folks to hurt other folks' feelings, but you guys are scared to hurt the feelings your damn self, and you call yourselves and not call yourself. I mean, you're grown, but you're afraid to hurt somebody's feelings with the truth. Think about how that sounds. If it's the truth, if somebody breath stink, you mean to tell me you're not going to tell them at all, at no point in time? You're not going to say nothing, just walk off. That's what some people do. I'm just going to get, that's why the mask have saved many relationships with around the world. These masks. No,
it don't. Not relationship, because you got to take it off with the relationship, Jimmy. The mask ain't save shit. Excuse me, ain't nothing with the relationship. I don't know why y'all got me cursing today.
If people understand what the Chop Shop has done, and we know that from the many testimonies, many emails and text messages, we have raised the level of awareness. Now, understand, some guys out there are so damn good that we're not giving. There's no way we're just giving you parents methods of how to combat.
That's all.
Or navigate through some of this stuff, not our book. day by day, week
Yeah.
by week. You get kibbles and bits
Yeah.
that can help you to understand. Either you will have a better understanding or a better way to navigate. That's all. I mean, it's all you can have. And this is for free.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
Now, if you want the whole concept, you need the whole armory.
Yeah, you got to
then
pay
help.
a
Maybe, I mean, maybe you can't help for a small fee. I can help you navigate through a whole lot of stuff.
For small fee, you can get set free.
Because you know what happens now? If that's become normal, because parents say, hell, I'm paying for this and I'm paying for that anyway, then hell, then that may be another service.
Jimmy, I'm gonna help you. Jimmy, then it becomes valuable to them. You remember I told you the story about somebody that gave me a book to read, and I never read that book. Then I'm in the airport one day, and I bought the book myself. When I paid for it, Jimmy, I read it from cover to cover, not cover to cover, cover to cover. And sometimes, and that's what guys like Anthony Fobb do. And I know, you can say, you don't read the testimonies that we get on email.
A whole lot of them.
You don't read the texts that we get. You just going by people in your sphere of influence. It's okay. But when you just don't understand because you're sitting over there from your perch. You don't understand that it's people being helped by this information. And you're right, Jimmy. And the ones who want you to go further, then maybe you probably need to say, okay, if you want Rob, especially with my time, I can explain to you how per hour you got to pay. High school basketball, nah, I ain't got time. But I'll help you. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time. That's Jimmy's wheelhouse. I always say that. But I'm blessed enough to be able to have college coaches that's been friends of mine before they were college coaches. And they just talk to me. We just talk about life. And guess what they're going to tell me? About the recruitment of their kids, of their parents. They just tell me. And so it's a unique situation we have here. And man, and parents, I would advise you to take advantage of it. Jimmy, look what I found, Jimmy. I'm going through my things, man.
That's old. What year is that?
2016, man.
The cheat sheet book.
I don't know. I'm going through my paperwork, Jim.
Let me tell you something. That book 4 years old, right? And still right now today, there's nothing out of Houston that can touch that book. And that's 4 years. I'm 4 years greater than that book, 4 years ago. That information in there goes out to the college coaches, parents. And next week, we'll take you into some of these old cheat sheet books and show you the intel that I was supplying. And as I mentioned you earlier, I was a part of creating this Frankenstein.
Yeah. No, keep going, because I'm going through.
And what I meant when I say I was a part of it is because I had a vision at the time back when I started in those coaches packets for many teams that had the top kids. It would have the top kid would have the summer coach's cell phone number and the address. Because back then they put addresses in the not email address, they put addresses in the coaches packets. And the coach's phone number would be listed for most of your top kids, not the whole roster. Some people had their whole damn roster and guess what? That's what the guys would print it like that. So the coaches would get it. That means you wanted to get a kid. Guess what number you had to call? You had to call. You think you're calling the kid? It's the coach's cell phone number or his second cell phone. So what I did with RCS Sports, I came in the door saying, what I'm going to do is that because the college coaches paid, I solicited to them to pay me an annual, they subscribe for me to provide them intel. Well, part of the intel was that in order to get me in the game and increase my valuability was to provide them the actual cell phone numbers to the parents of the kids. Not the kids themselves at the time, the parents. because I felt that's who the grown folks should be talking to. So that became a market that was very valuable because nobody would release that information unless you had to go through that coach or the high school coach. So I was supplying the college coaches with the actual cell numbers of the parents.
Hold up, Jimmy. Get on that, Jimmy. I didn't even realize this. Greater Houston, top 9, 17 and under summer teams.
I was just about to get to the summer teams. So here's where the problem really began. I started to come up with a list every spring in the spring booklets of the top grassroots teams in the area, and I would put the cell phone numbers of the grassroots coaches. I ranked the summer teams. I provided the cell numbers of the grassroots coaches, which a lot of those college coaches have anyway in the regional aspect, but not in the non-regional coaches. A coach in Wyoming don't necessarily have a cell phone number to the coach of the Houston, Blue Devils or whatever. That wasn't common. So I started to provide those cell numbers. That way I would think, I'm empowering those grassroots coaches on the local scale with the hopes that they would return the favor. And then that way, after the coach get through talking to you about your kid, every other coach gonna pick your brain and start asking you about another kid that don't really play for you. Ain't even your kid. That's what college coaches do. They want to toss and pick people's brain. And then you fall into it. Oh man, yeah, that kid, man, he can't play. That kid ain't working. Oh man, that kid ain't. He's got him overrated. Man, I don't know why he got him ranked that high. So then you call the next coach, ask him about his kids. He tell you everything you want to know. Ask about the other kid. Oh man, now the same guy that he just got the phone with. What about his kids? And this kid just told this college coach that all his kids is better than John Doe's kids. Call John Doe. John Doe says that this dude kids ain't worth shit, and all of his kids is better. And guess what? Hicks got his kids ranked wrong. So this is what happened. You see how the blob.
Man, I'm sitting there laughing, man, because I'm sitting there looking at how time flies. Marlon Lowe still had Texas Pro. Let me see who. Rossi Karen, Basketball University. I'm echoing a little bit. Rick Nelson. Chris Walker had Texas Boys Basketball Athletic Club. Who was this? Keith White was still coaching. Team Stack, you didn't even have a coach's name. You just put his number down. You just put coach up there.
Probably a typo.
Yeah. No, it's all right. Then A-level Eagles had made it. I mean, Will was doing. Man, I'm just it was just funny. I'm just going through some papers, y'all.
And understand, the concept was to empower those grassroots coaches to be able for more coaches out of the region now start calling those guys directly. That's one less phone call you have to call bugging me. Also, when you fly into Houston now, you're recruiting this guy, you know how to get in touch with him directly.
Right.
He can take him to Papa Do's. You see the difference now? Right. Now you go take him. You only get so much of a per diem. Now I'm helping other guys eat. Literally helping other guys eat. So that means now the scenario is what a mistake was. I didn't do enough to educate a lot of those coaches to let them know when them college coaches try to start talking about other kids, stop right there and tell their ass to turn back around and call Jim Hicks back. Coach, all I can speak on is my kids that play for my program. If you want to know other stuff, call him. And that was one of the mistakes I made, because not saying that everybody would listen to me, but at least I would have gave a disclaimer and encouraged guys to do so. And if I would have done that,
why would you want them to come back to you? Why?
Because that's what they already pay me to do.
But
you pay me to do something.
But what if the other coaches trying to build their own relationship with the coach?
Understand.
That's what the problem.
What? You have your kids already. That's what you know your kids.
You don't
it's
know
only
everybody.
So much talking you're gonna do about the next person's kids. It's gonna be limited, Halla. You're gonna talk. No, you're gonna say, but you're gonna put a but in there. But
I got you. I like that.
But
I like that.
But then you'll come to the time when your kid gave that kid 30. So now what you do is you devalue what's already been valued.
Coach has been telling me that, Jimmy. Coach, that was rampant. That's rampant around here.
And that's what happened.
Coach has
Then
been telling me that.
And the lid came off the bottle, and now here we go. And so now it's like, and I'm, all you can do now is just educate. I have to re-educate the coaches now. That's the question on that, because there's a new regime of younger coaches coming to re-educate them. I just had a coach just tell me the other day. He told me, he said that Texas is the worst state in the union when it comes to back and guys not on the same page. And if you people let you tell it, some of you guys will believe that Dallas and DFW is people living in great harmony, and everybody up there is just playing. It's just sweet and peachy keen. It ain't.
And Jimmy,
there's problems everywhere.
Jimmy, I'm just talking to the coaches that I know, and they were telling me that it was kind of embarrassing, Jimmy, because they were just telling me, might be from Memphis, but I live in Houston. And I don't like nobody talking about my state. And they just say, man, those dudes down there, they off the chain. And they just said, man, it's dudes who don't even have nothing to do with nothing. Got they stain. They running their mouth. They said everybody have a voice down there. And all the voices are different. And what happens is, it confuses, Jimmy, that's a biblical thing. Because God, he confused people's language. People, they didn't know, they couldn't talk to each other because all the languages were different. And we just got to say, man, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't be talking about these other people, kids, man. Just leave them alone. They gonna hold up. What Brian Mary said? What Brian Mary said, Jimmy? They level gonna catch up with him. What did he say?
He say, and Brian Mary, and I love this quote. This is a college coach over at Morgan State, and Brian Mary says, and eventually they will all end up where they supposed to be.
Yes.
They will all end up where they supposed to be. If it's back on the streets, if it's back living with mama, if it's in jail, if it's at a D3, if it's at a D, they all end up where they deserve.
I didn't really like that, but he said it.
Where you deserve to be. Remember the key word, where you deserve to be.
Yeah. Not when nobody politic you out or nobody did this to you. This what you work to get. And that's a good one. Jimmy, that's a good one to end the show on right there.
Yeah. So that's hey man, one. Guess what? And and that goes right on cue. Here comes Stacey Houston saying,
I love that boy, man. I love him.
Hey.
He said that what he heard. Jimmy, you got to hear the last part. He said, at least that's what I heard. So you got to read the whole thing. Yeah,
at least that's what I was told. Yeah. And I tell you guys, let me tell you something. And I say it again. Houston is bad when you compare DFW and Houston is bad for several reasons. And you guys know we get it. That's a whole different topic. We can definitely remind me on Monday, and I can get up in there. One thing about it, that's the saying. Most people are afraid to hurt other people's feelings. And as you guys have noticed, I done grew out of that phase. So that's a big. I'm one of the unicorns when this. I ain't afraid to hurt people's feelings in this. See, that's the whole thing. Your dollar can't hold me hostage. That's a big. How many people in the game can say that? Your dollar can't hold me hostage.
But what dollar? What can somebody? So somebody can try to pay you to shut up.
Somebody say, "Well, we ain't gonna come to your event. We ain't gonna support you."
Oh, okay.
Your dollar can't hold me hostage.
Okay. See, y'all, that's what I ain't understanding. Okay, y'all got to explain it.
So, and I explained, and that's the truth. And the thing is, one of the main differences in Dallas. And I'll tell you guys this as we land the plane. And Corey Henderson, who lives in that DFW, if the guys in Dallas did rankings regional rankings of their area and they were publicly posted, then your problems would blow the doors off of Greater Houston. You have problems and y'all don't even do published rankings. Rankings are the root of the evil in Houston.
Rankings that bad, man?
It can be.
Jimmy,
it's
Jimmy,
the root.
Jimmy,
I got a question.
Jimmy, I got a question. In 2013, were they that bad? I don't remember.
What you mean when you say what?
2013, I'm talking about the rankings. Was people getting on
it
people?
It wasn't as many people. That's the thing. Now the room is more crowded. Okay. So the room is more crowded. That means there's more people.
Okay.
Less elbow room, which is okay.
Right. I got you.
But at the same time, if those guys and that is, if it's about 5 of them, if they all decide to go and do public and make a public list of rankings or put them on Twitter, they would be unfollowed like a mug. Minute by minute, people be unfollowed. I mean, because that's part of the problem. Now they're smart enough in the DFW to not fall into that spider web right now.
I got you.
Smart enough. Now you can get away if somebody do that for some 7th, 5th graders, 6th graders, and you win in DFW. You can rank them because they don't know. Everybody remembers their first, not their last. But that's the thing.
That's good. I'm glad you explained that to me because I just don't remember it being, and it could have been, Jimmy. I just didn't remember it. I ain't never called you talking, man, where you got my song, right? Ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna get mad at nobody about that.
No, but it's a lot. Understand, and that's part of. Remember, we talked about that earlier, Helen. That's part of your sale because when you came into a kid's life as an in-person that end up gaining influence, part of your sale was I can get you where you wish to go. I can get you there. You don't have to go to navigate through. I can get you there. I know him. I know Hicks. I know Kunstadt. I know Bossett. I can get you ranked all these places. So then when it don't happen as you first dictated or as soon as abrupt as you dictated, then guess what happens? Now you pissed off.
Look what Stacey just said, man. He tried to be mad. He tried to
told me to look in the mirror because some of you guys shouldn't have lied.
I got you. You still talking? Okay. But look what this man said. Rankings are not our issue, and data jealousy is our biggest issue.
No, but no, rankings is a root. I didn't say it was your issue because you don't do the ranking. I say if you did rankings in DFW, if any 3 people start doing them at the same time publicly, only for that area, your problems would be far greater than the problems that people have in Houston. Because what I'm saying is you already have problems right now with jealousy and envy.
Shit, that's right? In Houston. That's really in Houston.
But I mean, but we have rankings problems as well because now the rankings, people use the rankings as the bait for exposure. I remember now, we have people in Houston who lie and say they're on their credits to get media passes.
I'm finna hang up, man. I'm finna end this show, man. I'm about to end this show.
And if you once again, I don't have problem hurting people's feelings when I have facts. Remember, I told you guys, I got facts in here, a whole bunch of facts, and they in the cloud. So I can break this tomorrow and go get all them receipts. I got receipts just waiting for a day. And many of you guys every down in that's selected.
Don't do it when I'm on the show, man.
And guess what, Alan? You know I ain't bluffing either.
I know I done seen them. Don't do it when I'm on the show. I got
parents that have gave me the text message, the screenshots from the phone calls and the text. So a lot of things that I'm telling you guys, it happens.
Barry McDonald's. Let me help Barry McDonald. I don't know about the other ones, but I saw one I could not believe. I did. He showed when that one you showed me, Jay. I said, no way. So, man, it's some. Hey, man, I'm not. Hey, when that day you do that, Jimmy, do me a favor. Do that in the VIP room. Don't do it on the show. Just tell me that day. I'm gonna be absent that day. I don't. I don't want to be in the middle of that. Oh hell no.
So
No.
anyway, guys, that's what we do is that's a good way to land the plane. We'll get up off here. It's time. I got to go and run. I got to get over to a couple of errands. But I want to thank you guys. Share the show right now. If you hadn't done so already, take out the time to share the show. The Chop Shop is a valuable part of your midday. It's a valuable part of our communities, regardless of where you live. One thing about it is that every weekend when I go out, I see somebody, a different person that I meet from the Chop Shop. Many of you guys have been out and have met some of each other as a result of being part of the Boom Boom Room, whether you be in the YouTube or the Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up if you hadn't done so already. But take out the initiative to at least bring one person to the Chop Shop on Monday. Bring one person on the Chop Shop on Monday. And like I say, just bring Jimmy, one. One of your new guys, just invite them on over, and they get a dose of the Chop Shop.
And I want to see some new names, Jimmy, on YouTube. I love you guys on there now, but I want to see some new names on there. And you don't have to leave the Facebook. I want to see some brand new names. Eric Raspberry, I want you to call your people. I know, tell your people, these dudes crazy. Yeah, but guess what? I want some new people on YouTube next week, Jimmy. I'm gonna be looking for new, and I want y'all and tell them who sent them.
Yeah. All right, we good. And some of your questions, guys, make sure you table them and don't toss them back to me on Monday. But we have to get up out of here. Melvin Dudes, I didn't get to your question on the YouTube, and of course Darryl Richardson and a couple of other ones. Keep those questions and let's toss them on Monday, and we'll go back because this. Understand, guys, the topic is so vague, it's so big. Many of you have to get pencil and just start taking notes. Mm-hmm. Take notes if you need to. Go back and watch the Chop Shop again if you need to. Now, if you go on YouTube, you can go and scroll right to a certain point, and you can share it from that exact point to somebody else.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it will give you the option. If you go on YouTube, when you get ready to share, it would look at when you hit the share button on the YouTube, right below it is a very small box. It'll say share from this point. Mm-hmm. That means it will automatically take that exactly point that you are actually watching, and which is cool. So do that if you need. But all we do is, once again, guess what? We gonna help market ourselves and the old-fashioned way. And guess what? The product is going to be good enough that they can't, sooner or later, they can't ignore it. And that's what we do on the Chop Shop. We thank you guys. We got to close it. It's time to slide down. Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this day. Thanks so much, right? So much, you guys, for hanging with us, man, sharing the show, bringing all the comments, keeping the Boom Boom Room crunk, so to speak.
Oh, they good.
Welcome Thaddeus Moody. Thaddeus Moody now, guys.
What do you do?
In Chicago. Welcome. I saw him on the feed. He just landed in Houston from Chicago.
Okay.
He's coming in town.
All right.
They're coming in town and watch a little basketball. And so we'll see. Maybe I get a chance to see Thaddeus Moody. Be cool to see him and maybe him and
take a picture of him, Jimmy. Because I won't see him. You take a picture of him and let me know who Thaddeus Moody. Thaddeus Moody, if you want to meet up somewhere else, outdoors and somewhere, tell Jimmy we'll do that, but I ain't going to no basketball game. But I would like to meet you though. Okay.
And that is, of course, and that is just speaking of basketball, you guys make sure you go to rcssports.com, their website, rcssports.com. The rankings have been updated for the 12th graders, for the 11th graders. We'll get the 10th graders on there probably in the morning. I said late on this day, but it'll be in the morning now. Have to go and run an important errand. Also, check out the VIP news. One of the top ex-players from around the area has transferred. Check out that news. I'm not going to tell you who. I'm not going to tell you where. Get your butt over into the VIP news and get the scoop for yourself. That's the type of stuff where you get in the VIP news. I got some more news that I roll out on tomorrow. Make sure you get over to rcssports.com today. On behalf of Robert Hatter, Jim Hicks, it's that time, y'all. It's time to tip my lid to the side. Trying to put something in my glass. That's what I'm gonna do. Chop shop,
Do your
please.
thing.
We up out of here.
I'm out. Let me hit that button.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop.